Hey, folks, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast for Wednesday, the 12th of February, 2014. It's going to be a light day today. I'm doing the podcast instead of a live show because, well, I'm going to be off for the next 2 days. Yeah, a little working vacation, sort of light on the work, more on vacation. But, taking a few days off because you got to get away, you got to step away. Most of you know that, doing things like this and examining things and hearing things and watching what goes on, you get to the point where you just got to step away for a minute. And plus, you just got to step away. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love doing this. It's enjoyable, but you just got to step away. It's like taking a vacation from your job. I mean, you got a job, and when the time comes, you take a vacation, and you go from there. And you come back, and you feel refreshed, and you're regrouped, and all of that, and you feel good. And the one thing that I want to talk about today, I mean, it's real simple. It's real simple. And that is, we need to really examine everything just very meticulously. And I'll tell you why. DHS just ordered up another 141,000 rounds of ammunition, sniper ammunition. The post office just ordered up a whole bunch of ammunition. So, what the hell's going on? I'm going to forego the break at the 5 after mark that I usually do on my live show. Because this is a podcast. I'll take a break at the 20 after mark. And I want to get into this because it's very, very important. Here we are in America. We, the people, want the Constitution, want our freedoms, want our liberties. But the powers that be that are running this country, the corporations that are actually running this country, don't want us to be free, don't want us to be, they don't want us to be free. They want to enslave us, they want to control us, they want everything their way. Well, let me tell you something, it's not going to be their way. But there are a lot of people out there spreading a lot of disinformation that would indicate that they are desperate at this point, because now all the disinformation is basically very, very, very hard to believe. And you shouldn't believe it because it's coming from the state-run media. The state-run media is prone to lying all the time about everything. And you can see that with the hosts that have gone on to CNN, or not the hosts, guests that have gone on to CNN and on MSNBC, and some of the Fox, people, personalities have fired back at certain liberals on their shows as well. And you're beginning to see the breakdown of the lies. You're beginning to see this breakdown. I mean, the liberals, I don't care if you're in the middle and think you're more conservative, the far left liberal loons, I can tell you right now, they're all wrong. Every single last one of them. Now, when you put the existential clarification on that says, well, from their perspective, they're right. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. From their perspective, they believe they're right. But their facts don't line up with what is truly going on. Actions speak louder than words. Everyone has heard that throughout the years. And when you place the liberals and the far left liberal loons' actions against what is going on out in the world, and in this country specifically, you will see that they are lying through their teeth. Every single last one of them. Now, like I said, there are some Fox people who fire back at these liberals, and and pretty much call them on the carpet. Well, guess what? Now you see the push for getting rid of the First Amendment, getting rid of all mainstream media, whatever. You're seeing this whole thing being pushed by the Democrats, yes, the Democrats and some Republicans, for a reinvestigation or a discussion, again, about the fairness doctrine. And all this, that, and the other thing. And let me bottom line this and get to my point. You're never going to shut us up. Excuse me, hang on. Imagine a towering skyscraper with numerous floors, and each floor represents a different level of existence. Matter, spirits, angels, ghosts, extraterrestrials, quantum physics, biology, neuroscience, religion, metaphysics, even paranormal studies, all have their place in the grid. The Grid, Exploring the Hidden Infrastructure of Reality by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. Hey folks, I'm back. Sorry. Couldn't breathe there for a second. Yeah. It's not allergies, it's none of that. It's constant sinus plugged up all the time. I wake up in the morning, I'm kind of like, can't breathe, like just a second ago. So, getting back to where I was, and I do remember where I stopped, when you look at liberals as how they are portraying themselves and putting out the information, you have to understand. You have to understand that they are lying. Every single last one of them. That's my point. They're all lying. Oh, no, wait a minute. I said Democrats, and I said some Republicans. Yes. Yes. These far-right conservatives that are saying, well, we want less government and more people. But no. Get rid of that left-right paradigm now. They all work for the same system. They all work for the same people. That's it. I mean, we don't have two-party system here. It's only a semblance of choice, which, of course, is no choice at all. And we're lulled into this sense of choice, saying, "Hey, look over here. Hey, look over here." And they're showing you, this person over here says this and says that and does this and does that. But then the other person on the other side says, "Oh, you don't want to listen to him. I do this and I can do that." And it's all the same thing. So when you look at all this around you, you have to meticulously take a look at everything there is. And remember that all the Democrats and Republicans and all of the state-run media and all of that, they're lying through their teeth. So the only truth that you're ever going to find with the facts to back it up is what you find for yourself. You're never going to change anybody else's mind, so give up. Give up now. You're never going to change anybody else's mind if they are in the middle. Oh, I'm more conservative than I am liberal, but I'm kind of in the middle. You've heard those people, right? To the far left liberal loons and the far right conservative crackpots, they're all lying to you. Every single last one of them. Now, again, take what you know, go search it out, and find the truth and the facts on your own. Don't believe me. Don't believe Pete Santilli. Don't believe Alex Jones. Don't believe Glenn Beck. Don't believe any of them. Definitely don't believe your state-run media. Go out and find the facts on your own. Now, of course, you might say, well, how can I find the facts if everybody's lying? Well, that's where you need to dig a little deeper, don't you? That's where you need to, shovel all the bull crap out of the way and get to the main, to the main section that you want to be, that you want to see, and that where that information is. You get rid of all the bull crap. Just get rid of all the bull crap. Don't, and it was hard. It was very difficult for me, giving you a little background. I've been researching this kind of stuff since Carter was president. Okay. I've been researching politics and different religions and societies and cultures for a very, very long time. And I want to tell you something. It is very, very difficult to find the truth when you know that most people are going to lie about it and twist it and misrepresent it and all that. So it's very, very difficult to find all that. But you got to keep pushing ahead, because you will find the truth. And for anybody that says Pete Santilli's a former FBI agent or works for the FBI, or Alex Jones is Stratfor or whatever, you're a bunch of freaking idiots, because you're the type of people that I love to get into debates with. You know why? Because I got stacks and stacks of information that will blow you away. Okay? And whatever you're going to say, I've already heard. So I don't need you to tell me something that I already know, because I've researched it. What have you done? Sat there, criticized somebody for something you didn't understand, and you've only got a sheet of paper saying, here's my proof. Well, I got 5, 6, 10 file folders full of stuff looking at you going, yeah, and your point would be, figuratively speaking, I have that much, but I got trunks and files and all that. And conservatively, I got enough to put any skeptic in any debate with me. I can make him have chills up his spine and make him run out the door. Okay? I mean, that's just the way it is. Now, like I said, it is difficult to find the truth. It is difficult to find what that is. If you want to say Glenn Beck works for the establishment and he's controlled opposition, or any number of people like that, Alex Jones, Pete Santilli, whatever. If you want to say that, you go right ahead and say that. You have the right to say that, and I will support your right under the First Amendment to say whatever it is you want to say. I will disagree with you wholeheartedly, but you have a right to say it. When you say it, do you not believe in self-responsibility, you far-left liberal, Marxist? Do you not believe in personal responsibility? Because if you do, then what you say, you would know in your mind that you would have to back up now, wouldn't you? And you can't, because all the information out there proves you wrong. And any little piece remember that one piece of paper you're going to show me? Any little piece of information that you have is not going to match up to anything that is honest, factual, and truthful. It's just the way it is. And I've had somebody years ago, about 1997, as a matter of fact, I remember, where somebody said, well, then why should anybody try to debate you if you think you have all the answers? I looked at that person and went, did I claim to have all the answers? No, I didn't. I said, I've got information that can blow you out of the water. I don't have all the answers. I don't want all the answers. I'd be bored because there wouldn't be anything else to learn. Well, he kind of humphed and walked away, because I shot him in the forehead, figuratively speaking, verbally, with the truth and the facts. Liberals don't like that. Any liberal I know, I don't care if they're in the middle or far left or far right, whatever, progressive, it doesn't really matter. Any liberal that I've confronted with the facts and the truth have always folded up like a freaking armadillo and rolled away, because they don't like the facts and the truth. They hate it. They hate people calling them on the carpet. They hate people pulling their mask off their face, showing just how ugly they truly are. They hate it. They hate it. I mean, look, the recent story here in the last few days was Rosie O'Donnell's son. Rosie O'Donnell, lesbian, liberal, far left, everything. Her son went, I'm going in the military because I don't, basically it was, I don't like your views. Good for him. If I saw him, I'd shake his hand. But the facts are the facts. And when you finally find them, and believe me, after 30 some odd years of researching all this stuff, it is very difficult to find those bits and pieces of fact and put them together and come up with something that is accurate. It is very difficult because there's so much misinformation and disinformation out there that, it makes it very hard to find those things, to draw any conclusions on the situation and judge for yourself whether or not it's right or wrong, or false or true, So anyway, enough of that. Let me get into some of the news here. Excuse me, I still got something going on there. So, let me ask you all a question. I always like asking people questions, and I really want your input on this. If you were president of the United States of America, and lobbyists and special interest groups came to you and said, we want this, and they shoved all kinds of stuff in your face and said, we're not going to go away and we're going to make your life difficult if we don't get what we want, what would you do? I'll tell you what I can do. I'll tell you what I would do. If I was president of the United States and lobbyists and special interest groups came into my office and wanted something and wanted me to give them stuff, and you know what I'd tell them to do? I'd call their head people into the office. I'd call the people that represent these lobbyists and special interest groups. I would call them into the office, into the Oval Office, and I would look at them and I say, okay, I heard all of your arguments. I heard all your needs. I heard all of that. And I really, really respect the fact that you're very genuine on what you need. And I see a great need that you have. That's fine. But I got 2 words for you. 3 words for you, actually. You are fired. No, seriously. Pack your crap, close your offices, and get the hell out of Washington, D.C. You're gone. And if you don't leave, and if you want to make my life miserable, guess what? I got a military that says you won't. Now, a lot of people might say, well, that's not right. Okay, then I won't send the military on them. I got law enforcement in Washington, D.C. called the Washington, D.C. Police Department. I'll have them escort you to the border of Washington, D.C., and then you can go do whatever you want. What you have to do to these morons in Washington, D.C. is you have to make life very, very hard for them. Very hard for them. A lot of people don't like doing that because they like free stuff. People don't like giving up free stuff because they want free stuff. Okay? I've got a... well, I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's like 5 minutes and 17 seconds long. But part of it, and you've heard this woman in the newscast in 2008 when she said, I don't have to worry about a mortgage. I don't have to worry about a car payment. If we help him, he'll help us. Yeah. Wonder how she's feeling now. The lady with the Obama phones, guess what? Was on Alex Jones twice, maybe 3 times. And Alex Jones set her straight as to what this president's all about. And she said, I wouldn't vote for him again. She probably didn't say those words exactly, but that's what she was thinking. And I got it. It's interesting to say the least that people literally will go all out at somebody else's expense to get free stuff. Well, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to make this perfectly clear because, and I'm going to preface it with something that I tell people all the time. I am not prejudiced. I am not racist. I I have friends of every race, creed, and religion you can think of. And we're okay. We sit down, we debate, we laugh, we get pissed off. But at the end of the day, hey, we can still go have lunch. Because we understand where we come from. And we understand the environment we grew up in. And that's what you know is what your environment taught you. So you are the result of your environment. But what I want to say is this. I'm not prejudiced. Never have been. Mama didn't raise no fool. If I said something in a very prejudicial way, okay? If I said something in a very prejudicial way, my mama would smack me, okay? Because she's not racist either, okay? Darn it. Just trying to find something on my phone here. Everybody is screaming up comprehensive immigration reform. Let me tell you, that is a code for open border. Oh, don't get me wrong. You want to come here, you want to be a part of America, you want to assimilate, that's fine. You do it legally. You go to the embassies. You go to all the organizations that help you get into the United States legally. And all these immigration advocacy groups are nothing more than front groups to get you illegally into the United States. Somebody want to prove me wrong on that? They're all far left liberal Marxist groups that want open borders, period. That's it. I know I'm stretching it there, and I know that somebody might get pissed off and say, well, that's not right. I'm going to sue you. Really? Then prove to me I'm wrong. I'm not. Hello, I got stacks of information to prove I'm not. And all I got to do is pull them out of my, wherever I got them here in my, in my trunks and stuff. Prove to me I'm wrong in my assessment about these immigration advocacy groups. Prove to me I'm wrong. That's your challenge. That's your homework today for the 12th of February, 2014. Prove to me I'm wrong about that. All comprehensive immigration reform is a constant battle to push conservatives out of the way and to open the borders to let everybody in. And guess who's backing all of it? Democrats. Democrats are backing it because they want more votes. You know why? Because they are the Marxists. They are the socialists. They are the communists. They are the people that want to enslave you. And if you can't understand that, then you got a serious problem. I got a cousin that lives about 20 miles away from the Mexican border. He's got neighbors that he talks to. And guess what? And they're farms. They're ranches that he knows of. And he lives in an area where there's, ranches and farms and all over the place. And he says some of his neighbors go out at night or peeking out at night watching illegal immigrants crossing their land. And did you know that there's a lot of that farmland in America that is crossed over into Mexico, so they're just going to come right over. And it's not just Mexicans, so I don't want to zero in on them, but that's about 75 to 80% of it. There's other people from other countries trying to get over here and get everything for free. Well, the argument could be on one side of the aisle, well, whoever said it was illegal to have somebody come over here? How about doing the research on that one and proving to yourself that we've gotten borders to be able to create commerce in this country from other countries? By the way, in 1925, and I don't want to hear any more about this. I'm not even going to talk about this any more than what I'm about to say. In 1925, the United States of America was incorporated as a business. It is a corporation. It has absolutely no need for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America prior to 1871. And that's what it is. How do you think we have such massive deficits in the trade that we have with other countries? How do you think we can trade as effectively with other countries without them getting all pissed off? Because we're a corporation. We're not the United States of America. We're a corporation. Go look it up. And guess who runs the corporation? Guess who funds the majority of it? That would be you and I, of course. But the people that are behind the scenes running the whole sham are the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. The same people that got us into World War I and loaned the money to President Woodrow Wilson from after he signed two documents called the Federal Reserve Act and the Internal Revenue Act, or the those two documents. After the Rockefellers and Rothschilds twisted his arm to make him do it. Why? Private bank. Go look at it. It's a private bank for the elites. And it's all a money laundering scam perpetrated against you who have to pay through your nose every year in taxes enforced by the Internal Revenue Service, which of course is another private corporation. Now, do you see where all this is headed? Do you understand how all of this works? They want to tear down the sovereignty of the United States of America. They want to get rid of all private property. They want to get rid of all entrepreneurs. They want to get rid of everything that is against their system and enslave you. That's why they want to put you in a FEMA camp. Oh, what? There's FEMA camps? Yes, there are. And the people that manage and run these FEMA camps are Kellogg, Brown, and Root. KBR, go look it up. They contract with the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA. Go look it up. It's right there. Whenever there is a situation in a government that requires the government to intervene in that situation, the first thing they do is create a distraction, or as we know it now, a false flag event. And from what I've seen in the last several months and in several years since 2001, actually longer than that, since 93, I can tell you this. In the next, don't chisel this in stone because I could be wrong in the time frame in this. But within the next 6 months to 18 months, that's just before President Obama leaves office. Between the next 6 months and 18 months, that's a long time, folks. There's going to be a false flag event that is going to cause the President of the United States to suspend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America and set himself up as a dictator. He's already a pseudo-dictator. Look at all the unconstitutional executive orders he's already implemented. Look at all the DHS. Now it's over, 2.4 or 2.3 billion rounds of ammunition the DHS has. Don't give me this crap that something isn't going to happen. Within the next 6 months to a year and a half, 6 months to 18 months, something is going to happen that's going to cause him to just shut everything down, including the internet.
Sarasota's home for R&B and soul. The Razor Blade Express with Dave the Rave.
The hottest new talk radio show is on Revolution Radio. The BK Factor talks about news, religion, politics, and more. BK adds his opinion to all of it. The BK Factor airs Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time, noon to 2 Eastern. If you miss a show, you miss out. Hey folks, I'm back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. I'm not live today. I got a lot of things to do. I'm taking Thursday and Friday off. It's kind of a working vacation, less on work, more on vacation, but so I'm taking the time off only because, well, you spend all your time researching and looking at all this stuff. Your head's about ready to explode, and you're about ready to go throttle somebody to tell them to wake the hell up. But, I'm not a homicidal person, okay? I don't do stuff like that. I just verbally berate people into, feeling 2 inches tall. No, I'm being sarcastic, folks. Jeez. You don't believe that. This is the Free America Radio Network, where we share the truth one fact at a time. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. I'm usually live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 noon Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com and the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com. And check it out if you'd like. Of course, check out the webpage. Free America Radio is going to the next level, and you can be a part of that. Go to freeamericaradio.us and donate if you can, or go to the store and buy some Liberty and Freedom Network merchandise and help Free America Radio get to the next level. We are broadcasting, not this particular show, I believe, but we're broadcasting the views expressed live on 1610 a.m. in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. That's micro broadcasting in that area. So micro broadcasting, part 15, in that area. And you can go to wakingupthemasses.com for all of that information as well. That's wakingupthemasses.com. Check out that website. Go listen to Bob Brutus and Kicking the Capstone. Usually follows the views expressed live at 9 p.m. Eastern. And there's a whole lot of stuff. Go check out LateNightInTheMidlands.com with your host Michael Vera. And also go check out Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook, and also distortedreality.podbean.com. Support alternative media. Thank you very much. Hey, welcome back. A lot of things that I wanted to talk about. By the way, in the news, ex-New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin found guilty of corruption. Former New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin was convicted Wednesday on charges that he accepted bribes, free trips, and other gratuities from contractors in exchange for helping them secure millions of dollars in city work while he was in office, including right after Hurricane Katrina. The federal jury found Nagin guilty of 20 of 21 counts against him. He sat quietly at the defense table after the verdict was read, and his wife, Salitha, was being consoled in the front. Before the verdict, the 57-year-old Ray Nagin said outside the New Orleans courtroom, "I have been at peace with this for a long time. I'm good." The Democrat, who left office in 2010 after 8 years, was indicted in January of 2013 on charges he accepted hundreds and thousands of dollars in bribes and truckloads of free granite for his family business in exchange for promoting the interests of local businessman Frank Fradella. He also was charged with accepting thousands of dollars in a payoffs in payoffs of another businessman, Rodney Williams, for his help in securing city contracts. Nagin is best remembered for his impassioned pleas for help after levees broke during Hurricane Katrina, flooding much of New Orleans and plunging the city into chaos. That was when the military came in, helping the law enforcement gather up all the guns. You see the video right there. New Orleans police officer says, or sheriff officer says, they're taking the guns. Okay, go look that up on YouTube. Even in affluent neighborhoods, richy neighborhoods. Yeah, go check it out. Nagin testified that key witnesses lied and prosecutors misinterpreted evidence, including emails, checks, and pages from his appointment calendar linking him to businessmen who said they bribed him. The defense repeatedly said prosecutors overstated Nagin's authority to approve contracts. His lawyers said there is no proof money and material given to the granite business owned by Nagin and his sons was tied to city business. The charges against Nagin included one overarching conspiracy count, along with 6 counts of bribery, 9 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of money laundering conspiracy, and 4 counts of filing false tax returns. He was acquitted on one of the bribery counts. Each charges carry, I don't know who wrote this, but their grammar is terrible. Each charge carries a sentence from 3 to 20 years, but how long he would serve was unclear and will depend on the pre-sentence investigation and various sentencing guidelines. No sentencing date was set. Prosecutors say he took hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bribes, including money, free travel, and granite from Stone Age LLC, a family granite business. They allege the corruption spanned the time before and after Hurricane Katrina struck in August of 2005. The charges resulted from a City Hall corruption investigation that had resulted in several convictions or guilty pleas by former Nagin associates by the time trial started on January 27th. Fradella and Williams, both awaiting sentencing for their roles in separate bribery schemes alleged in the case, each testified that they bribed Nagin. Nagin's former technology chief, Greg Meffert, there we go, who also is awaiting sentencing after a plea deal, told jurors he helped another businessman, Mark St. Pierre, bribe Nagin with lavish vacation trips. St. Pierre did not testify. He was convicted in a case in 2011. Nagin said he did not know his vacation trips to Jamaica and Hawaii were paid for by St. Pierre. He also said he wasn't told that a family trip to New York was paid by a movie theater owner who, prosecutors said, received help with a city tax issue after Katrina wiped out the theater. Yeah. Let me just put it to you this way. If I were to help out my neighbor and another company came along and said, we're going to donate this, this stuff to help you out. If the community got together and did this and helped each other out, there'd be no problem. But because Nagin was the former mayor and because these other businesses colluded together and said, hey, you help us out, we'll give you a trip. Is that bribery? Yes. Is it against the law? Apparently so. But that's small potatoes compared to what's happening in Washington, D.C. By the way, I'm going to say this. I'm kind of leery about saying this because I'm beginning to hear chatter about, what's behind all of this and how this is going to play out. But May 16th, American Spring, Washington, D.C., apparently the person putting all of this together, not so much leading it, says that they want 30 million people in Washington, D.C. to tell these jackasses in Congress to get the hell out. In other words, it's we the people firing all the politicians that we hired. Okay? So May 16th. But I'm hearing some chatter behind the scenes saying this is a great place for a lot of people to go to where the government's just going to crack down on them and, either will do some harm to them or send them away into FEMA camps. So anyway, Tom Brokaw, is very optimistic about his cancer diagnosis. Yes, Tom Brokaw, NBC News, all of that. Yes, legendary newscaster and broadcaster and journalist, has cancer. Prayers and thoughts to him and his family. Also, anti-gay law in Kentucky struck down. Okay. Anti-gay law in Kentucky struck down. Okay. Now, Senator Rand Paul sues Obama over NSA surveillance. Yeah. See? Republican Senator Rand Paul and a Tea Party-backed group are suing the Obama administration over the National Security Agency's phone record collection policies. Paul says the suit is filed for themselves and on behalf of all Americans who are or have been customers of phone service in the United States since 2006. Kentucky Senator and FreedomWorks are represented by former Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli, who unsuccessfully ran for Virginia governor last year. The lawsuit argues that the bulk collection program that's been in existence since 2006 violates the Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches. Paul, a respected Republican presidential candidate, has been outspoken against the Obama administration surveillance programs and has called for the end of the dragnet collection of millions of Americans' phone records. And this is Associated Press. I give them all the credit for this. Thank you very much, Associated Press. But let me analyze this now. Senator Paul is now aligning himself or agreeing with Senator Mitch McConnell, who is a far lefty. He's just a lefty. He's out there. He doesn't know what he's doing. Okay? But see, even John Boehner of Ohio succumbed to the pressure of the Democrats over this whole issue that they were battling over. Okay. Oh, the debt ceiling thing. Yeah. Boehner's just saying, yeah, well, let's let it go. Well, Boehner's a creep anyway. But they're all wrong. You know how to run the government? Washington, D.C. needs to stay out of everybody's business except protecting the United States of America. That's period. That's it. They need to stay out of everybody's business. This is why I am for telling the states to repeal all their marriage laws. In other words, this marriage is between, I'm going to say this, so if you want to throw stones at me, yeah, he who has not sinned cast the first stone. I believe that marriage should be between a man and a woman, but I also believe that if two people love one another and care and want to be together, so be it. Okay? And I don't believe the federal government should have any involvement in marriage. In other words, get rid of all of the marriage, the licensing department in your cities. Get rid of them all. Why? Because that's a church thing. That is a people thing. That's a religious thing. Why is the state involved? And let me throw this argument at you. If the state's involved in our marriage, which is a religious thing, and some are civil, right? Most are religious, but some are civil, then I say, let's put the Bible back in the high schools and in all schools. Let's do that. If the state wants to involve themselves in a religious ceremony, then we need to put the Bibles back in the schools. That's what we need to do. And, hey, if that doesn't play out, if it doesn't play out well for people, then fine, we'll find something that works. But the government Washington, D.C. has to stay out of everyone's business, including marriage. Okay? They need to let the market in business and commerce, they need to let the market work itself out and get the bugs out of the system and If a company fails, they fail. If a company succeeds, they succeed. Let the market determine that, not the stock market. By the way, the stock market came about through cattle trading. Go look it up. It's out there. We need to get the corporations out of Washington, D.C. Well, then how's anybody going to get in office? Majority rule, not mob rule. This is what's going to happen if things succeed on May 16th at American Spring in Washington, D.C. It's going to be mob rule. So why would you want that? The majority vote, the majority rule. And don't give me this crap that somebody's going to get pissed off and that we have to cater to them. No, that's political correctness. Flush it down the toilet. Enough. You get the right people into office that are going to do the right thing, and if within 90 days, like you have a 90-day probation period when you go to work, don't you? When you get hired at a job, at a business, you have a 90-day, 60 to 90-day probation period. Do you not? Every single politician we vote into office needs a 90-day probation period. And if they do not do exactly what we want them to do or what we believe they should be doing for us, we need to immediately go to the office and fire them. Now, how are you going to do that? Well, figure it out. Figure it out. But we need to get the government out of our business. That's it, period. Push them out. Well, how's anything going to get done? We need to fire the lobbyists and fire the special interest groups. Well, then nothing gets done and nobody gets what they need. Yeah, they do. It's called personal responsibility. It's called being friends with other people. It's called doing the right thing for others. It's called lifting others up when they're down, not shoving things into their face. In other words, giving people free stuff. It only gives them an incentive to just sit around on their ass and do nothing. So lift them up, help them out, do what you need to do, and do the right thing. That's what you need to do. Get the government out of our business, period. The only thing they need to do is protect our borders, period. And we have militias, state militias like Texas militia. We have one here in Nevada. They're all over the place. We're here to help. They are there to help the military when they are shorthanded. They're not the National Guard. Two separate things, folks. The National Guard is not your state militia. Don't mistake that. Okay, go look it up. But we need to get business. We just need to get government out of our business, out of our bedrooms, out of our houses, out of our, just out of it. I want to challenge everybody right now in this podcast, and I just thought about this. Go to your city councils, go to your county board of supervisors, and you tell them, you demand them that they stop the smart meters installations around town. You know what smart meters are? Let me tell you, I'll give you 3 things you need to go look up. Smart meters are this. They are part of the quote-unquote green movement. Oh, let's connect that dot, shall we? They are part of the environmentalist movement. Oh, let's connect the last dot. And all of that is under the United Nations Agenda 21 Sustainable Development. Okay? I don't want to hear any... I don't want to hear anybody tell me any differently, because I know I got stacks of information. By the way, you can go to the UN's own website and check it out. Agenda 21. Go look at it. And go while you're there. While you're on that search engine, go look up Rex 84. And while you're there, go look up FEMA camps. And while you're there, go look up what's the other one that I talked about a little while ago? Just look it up. Figure it out. It's all out there. Everything I'm talking about can be found. Oh, by the way, if you don't have a computer, you can't listen to this, but if you would prefer to go to more than one source, which I recommend, there's this big giant building in your city probably that is open probably 4 days a week maybe, and it's got a lot of books in it, a lot of reference material. It's called the library. You might want to drive down there and go in there and go check it out. That's where I spent over 10 years of 12 years of my life going to the San Joaquin County Library in Stockton, California. Now I was out, doing stuff. I drive by the library. Let's go by the library. I got something on my mind. I'm going to go check it out. Or coming home from work, I'd go to the library. Folks, it's all out there. It's right out in your face, and you're sitting there looking at me going, you're one of those conspiracy theorists. Really? Are you that stupid? Now, I call it like it is. I said it last year. I'm not going to pull any punches in 2013. I'm not going to deal with stupid people anymore. I'm not going to deal with trolls in my Spreaker chat box. I'm not going to deal with any of that. You know why? Because you people are stupid. Those people right there are the dumbest pieces of turds on the face of this planet. But the people like Tiger over at Washington Bull Party, or like the General Ernest Lee over at Patriots Freedom Network, or even Brian Keller over at Revolution Radio with the BK Factor, or Nick Tucker at Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Go check that out. We're all seeing things from different perspectives, and we all see things differently. But we can all come together and go, here's the problem, and we have a solution. Okay? That's just the way it is. We can disagree on certain things here and there. Go to WashingtonPost.com to read more about Senator Rand Paul sues Obama over NSA surveillance. And that's from the Associated Press. So thank you, Associated Press. Appreciate that very much. Obama raises minimum wage for contract workers, yes, which will then spill over into, into the regular market. You want to hear the views expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be on freeamericaradio.us. Go check that out. It'll be broadcast on micro-broadcast. It'll be micro-broadcasted. There we go. Is that a word? On 1610 a.m. in the Chickamauga, Georgia area with Bob Brutus over there, who does, after the show, does Kicking the Capstone at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, again, as I said before, Free America Radio Network is going to the next level, and you can be a part of that. If you want to donate, that's fine. Hey, you got $1? That's cool. You want to help out? That's cool. Right on. I'm not asking for anything specific. Just if you want to help, you want to help. Great. Wonderful. I give you a virtual high five. But we're going to the next level. And hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have to postpone the revealing the new website, but that's okay because I've still got to lay it out, and things just aren't, coming together as I would like them to, as they should be. But that's okay. We'll get it up soon enough. The thing that I want y'all to remember is this government, this Washington, D.C. regime of fascists and Marxists and dictators, they don't have your best interest at heart, so remember that. They can care less about you. Like George Carlin said in his stand-up, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. That's true. So take the steps to understand what's going on around your city, your county, your nation. Check all of the information. double check all the information. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, we're all in this together. We all want freedom and liberty. We all want to defend our freedoms. We all want to defend, you know, the right to do what we want to do. We all want that. We all want to be who we are. We don't want to be part of the collective. We want to be an individual with individual needs, with the entrepreneurship and the creativity and the innovation that we can bring to grow this nation into a much better nation than it is today. But we have to kick the corporations out of Washington, D.C. I'm talking, all the major corporations out of Washington, D.C. You go look at the 6 major banks that run the Federal Reserve. Yeah, 6 major banks also are supported and funded by 6 major individuals and other companies that fund and support the 6 major networks. Now there's 5 major state-run media networks. So go look it up. I mean, it's right there. It's in your face. I don't know what else to tell you. I do know, and I do want to tell you, that if you have any questions, no question is off limits. Ask me anything you like. If I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know. Email me, not only at the email address on the Spreaker side of things, but also email me at freeamericaradio@unseen.is. 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 It's real. And that's more secure than any other email that I've had, except for, the mail.com site. But facts are facts, folks, and you have to find them on your own. I'm not going to give you the silver platter answer to anything. You know, if I were to ask you what is 1 + 1, you're going to tell me because you've been conditioned and you were taught that is 2. Okay, but if I know something, I'm not going to give you the silver platter answer. I'm going to show you how to get there and tell you you don't have to believe me and that you need to do the research. And I will tell you what's happening, but it's up to you whether or not you want to believe me. So therefore, I just tell you, hey, go out and check it out yourself. It's the best way for you to figure out what you determine for yourself is right or wrong. I can't do that for you. No one can. No one can. So go to freeamericaradio.us, check out the site, donate if you'd like, help Free America Radio get to the next level, because we're pushing that. This summer, hopefully, or not this summer, but this spring, we're hopefully going to get, out and about and do some interviews on the street, a la Luke Radowski or something of that nature, something not so in your face, but we're going to, do what we have to. And hopefully we can get up and, increase the presence of Free America Radio on the internet. So, and you can help with that, by the way. You can definitely help with that by going to freeamericaradio.us and donating as much as you can. I mean, I know it's really, really hard. So if you got $1 and you just want to throw it my direction for Free America Radio Network, there you go. And as a disclaimer, all donations are not tax deductible. So just letting you know. Just want to put that out there, legalese for you, So there you go. So anyway, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. I'm usually on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com, and also on thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com. Hey, enjoy your day. I'm off tomorrow and Friday. Talk to you Monday.